Okay, it looks like this patch is actually a little bit better than even we originally thought. I misread a little bit of it, and there's also some more information that did not get added into the patch notes that we found. It has been consistent in Diablo Immortal that the Chinese patch notes seems to be the more fully informed patch notes between the English and the Chinese patch notes, and this time is absolutely no exception. Now, they mention in the English version of the patch notes there's 5 categories of fish, and that the rewards are items of random rarity and new aesthetics for your fishing rod. But they actually miss entirely one of the most important rewards that you could possibly get from fishing. Now, if you go to the Chinese patch notes and scroll down to the fishing and then go to the Fisherman's Handbook, section 4 under the Chinese patch notes, you will see surprise reward. When fishing, there is a chance to catch a deep sea treasure chest, which contains common gems. Now, common gems in Chinese is what effectively is the normal gems. So that would be ruby, tourmalines, we're talking sapphires, this stuff that we really want to farm. So your fishing can actually acquire these for you. This suddenly brings fishing from like a casual activity that maybe nobody will do because it's technically better, the overworld farm, to, wait a minute, there's actually a reason to do this. Now, while it says here in the Chinese notes, you can still get things like gold coins, equipment, materials, etc. If we go back here to the English patch notes where it says items of random rarity, I'm assuming the rarity is assigned to things like the equipment, material, etc. The rarity, I'm assuming, is not assigned to the chest, meaning what I am saying is I believe when it drops normal gems, it is going to be rank 1 normal gems. It's not like a random rarity of gems where, oh, suddenly we're fishing out a 2, 3, or rank 4 normal gem. If this was the case, they would be touting this primarily, being like, you can now get 2 and 3 star rank gems. They would be impressed with themselves that they're allowing this, and they're not saying that in the patch notes. So I do believe we're only fishing up rank 1 gems. The reason I mention this, it has been a highly requested change to allow higher held difficulties or rarities, whatever you want to call it, for normal gems to drop at a higher rank in order to alleviate some of the strain. Now, the reason there's such strain is because, like we've been talking about this entire week waiting for this update, the normal gem attribute, which is refinement, which is essentially a resonance fixed percentage that's going to go with each individualized socketed item with the normal gems, this here has been added to the gems, making them more important. Now, I have to make a correction on the previous video. I actually got somebody in the math in the chat was called out, and I actually want to point them out. It was this comment right here. To my understanding, hidden layer update is much better than you said here. And he goes on to explain the math, which I didn't even understand in the first statement until I realized, wait a minute, he's absolutely right. Effectively, what I got wrong about this, if you look at here at this update, is the hidden layers now give you 9 bound normal gems and 9 unbound normal gems. This is up from 6 bound normal gems and 0 unbound normal gems. For some reason, when I was looking at this, I was thinking the math is you get 6 of each because I have the number 6 in my head. You actually don't get 6 of each in the hidden layer. You only get 6 bound normal gems, and you have to farm the unbound gems later, which means this is actually an update, not of 50% in hidden layers. Okay, it's an update from 6 to 18 total gems. It's a 300% hidden layer buff. This brings us to a total now, instead of 18 total normal gems, and this doesn't include the fishing yet we've talked about, okay? So we go from 18 normal gems to 30 normal gems farmable in any given day, and what's most notable about that is that the amount of unbound normal gems is going up by 9. 9 unbound normal gems per day, which are decently achievable. You might have to do a couple hidden layers a day, but that's accessible free to play. Means you can sell these unbound normal gems. Right now they're going for maximized server. They could not be going for max, but if they're going for max, let's say you get gems and you sell them max in your server, that's like 3,600 platinum, or if you don't sell them for max, let's say 3,000, even 2,500 conservatively by the time you take out the fees and all that, let's say 2,500 platinum a day. That's actually a pretty decent increase in terms of platinum gain if you're selling the gems. Obviously, we're going to want to be keeping our gems are more important now to keep our gems because of the new normal gem type of refinement, aka a Resonance 2.0 type of system. However, this does give free-to-play significantly more options. And again, none of this includes whether or not we're going to be getting fishing. So at a minimum now, the amount of normal gems you can get per day went from 18 to 30. This obviously means we need more hidden layers, which have been actually changed in terms of how many are going to be spawned based upon server population, and they're going to give you a way to actually locate these hidden layers now, so it should be easier to get to them. Also, the Chinese patch notes has a whole function that isn't even listed anywhere in the English patch notes. This is a gift function. Essentially, after level 60, what you can do is friends, players in the same warband, and players in the same guild, meaning a decent variety of people can be selected in order for you to give fashion gifts in the mail, aka cosmetics. You can obviously turn this off if you don't want these for some reason, but the total value of giving gifts and receiving gifts will be limited every week after reaching the upper limits. Please try again at 3 a.m. next Monday, which means your boy's gonna have this enabled because I would love me some free skins. Also, just real quick, because I think I forgot to mention this part, to retouch on the fishing, the gems that we're going to be getting from fishing are supposed to be tradable. So these are unbound common gems. So we're going to have more tradable normal gems in the market. This is either going to skyrocket the price of gems because all the whales are going to be buying these right at launch, or it's going to tank the price of gems because there's going to be so many more of them because the unbound ones are getting buffed, it looks like, fairly significantly. There could be plenty more of these in the market. We don't actually know. So economic majors, feel free to go out there and make your best guesstimate. I would think the price would go up because I think there's enough whales, at least on my server, to sit there and buy these out. I'm curious to see whether or not they change the min-max pricing and make it where normal gems can sell more than 400. They might not, and they don't mention anything in either of the patch notes. Currently, as it stands, it's pretty hard to find gems. You can find a couple rubies if you look at pretty much close to max prices. It looks like even the citrines are so that, topaz are so that, sapphire so that. For the most part, it's a dry market. So there's more demand right now than there is supply. Also, one other point, because of the refinement system, which is, like I said, a little bit of Resonance 2.0, and because some gems are not as expensive or important as the others, maybe the free-to-play people could target some of the gems that are least expensive. For instance, if resistance is more expensive than potency, maybe you just target potency because you're trying to get the effect from refinement, for instance. Because I would imagine right when the launch happens, all the tourmalines will be snapped up, all the sapphires will be snapped up, and maybe if you're lucky, some of the people can buy some, topaz, can buy some aquamarine, some of the less demanded ones. Also, in one of our PvP discussions, we were talking about how lethality is at an all-time high. Lita and Sugar Rat were making these points. I think there's fairly good points. Something to mention here is refinement is going to increase life way more than increases damage because of the refinement system. Once again, 5 out of the 6 of these are life, and only the gloves are damage. And because we're increasing the base stat, your life is going to go up more than the damage is going to go up for basically all players. For this might have a slight effect on how actually long you stay alive. Even though there is reduced effects in PvP, etc., we're going to have to see whether or not the 66% reduction, because if you didn't know, all your bonuses, for instance, like your legendary gems, there's a 66% reduction on how effective these types of things are in PvP, and we don't know whether or not this normal gem refinement system, I am assuming, as all things in the game, is prey to that 66% reduction, but it could not be prey to the reduction. We're going to have to find out. So in closing, Chinese patch notes, tradable common gems in fishing. There is the new gifting system that is going to allow you to gift items to players in your warband, in your clan, etc. after you reach level 60. And the hidden lairs are actually a significant buff from 6 total gems to 18 total gems. So that's actually 300% total or 200% additional value on the hidden lairs. Now, if you want to see the math breakdown on how long it would take for you to farm all the normal gems you need, I actually have that video and I will put that up right here. Otherwise, there's another video recommendation which you could watch right here. Have a great day.